Giving it all we got, giving it all we can, giving it all we got. Oh, climbing up to the top of the world, no fear, we're gonna make it. Everything we want is ours. Whoa.
Hey guys, how you doing? Craig here on the Thai Farm in another scorcher. It's getting to be early afternoon already because I did my work in the morning, baked, tried to do it, you know, before the sun came up over my wood project over there, and wood and bamboo, I should say, which I almost lost that project today, but yeah. And then I just retreated to the house for some lunch, and yeah, an air-conditioned shower. So I feel pretty comfortable right now. I'm also in the shade a little bit, but I know as soon as I step out there into the sunlight, I'll be lucky if I survive. What do we do? Well, one of the things I did is look at this. If you remember, underneath my house here, I had all this Thai furniture here, and I took that out and I replaced it with the table and only 3 chairs that I have from I had over at the shop house. It wasn't easy. Those of you who've been watching videos might recall that this table, yeah, it probably weighs like a ton, but I was pretty clever, you know. I used a rope and pulled it to where it stood up, and then I put it under a dolly, and then I leaned over with the dolly on my back, and I let the table rest on my back, so I supported it. I mean, it was heavy, but because the dolly was on wheels, you know, meh. So I got it over here. And then actually all the other furniture I used the dolly to take over there too. The difficult part was that it was in this rock, man. Moving it all, you know, the heavy stuff would cut right through the rocks. And that was a bummer. Another thing I did was I put the hat on my barbecue. And that little hat there is really just a piece of, I took a piece of 3-inch tubing, cut it, and then I cut it down the broadside, or down the, you know, down the middle, and then winged it out, and it happens to work perfect. So I was pretty stoked about that. I can feel the sun beating on my face. This morning it was all right. Yesterday it was actually quite cold in the morning. I was jazzed about that, but this morning I got out early to start the work. But here, boom, isn't that nice? So it's very different from what was here. You know, I used to always walk through here, and my table was here, always piling junk on it. But we seem to, matter of fact, I think I left this here. Yeah, and you know, we've been eating out here a lot because it's nice and cool, but I think that'll be even better. And as a testament to it being cool over here, of course, this cool cat decides I'm gonna lay right there. You know, he's doing his thing. That's what he does. I don't know where the other cat is, but I left my tools up here this morning too. I have to get that down, but you know what? I think I'm actually gonna wait even longer for this bacon. I did more welding this morning on the A-frame, and if you had watched previous videos, I had talked about, you know, I used all this scrap wood that I bought to do everything, and I really wanted to try and use up the scrap as where I could. And I noticed that, actually I think my wife noticed before me, but so I made the A-frame, and you go up the stairs on the left there, but in order to get into the A-frame, you would either have to duck because you're on that side of the A-frame, you know, or what, I don't know. And because I'm building it as I'm going along, you know, the different challenges that present themselves, and that was one. So then I think, well, am I going to have a door on it, or is there a way to get to a door or whatever, blah blah blah. Anyway, I decided that the only way around it is to build a gangway in the front, like just drop down and have another lower tier platform in which you'll go up the stairs and just walk basically down the platform to get in the middle of the A-frame. And that's what I did, and it was pretty brutal. Yeah. So one of the things I did, I had to use my post hole digger, and I dug 2 posts here. This is actually old wood, the scrap wood. It was a 2x6, but I put 2 of them together, just bolted it, and made it a 1x6. I made it into a 2x6, and the post hole digger. This dirt was actually in better condition to be, using the post hole, so I was able to get it down almost the length of the bit itself, so almost a meter down there. And I concreted the bottom, and then put the wood in there, then concreted around it. This is a nice 4x4, maybe even 5x5. What is that? I got my tape measure right here. Yeah, 4.5, whatever. I went back to my wood guy over there where I got all the scraps, and got that for 300 baht. That ain't going nowhere. It's a good piece of wood. But I basically created on this side the same as I have here. So when I first put the stairs up, because this is where I wanted the stairs, right on the side, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different posts holding that up the stairs, and then the transition to the deck. But it turns out I had to make another one, so I did the 1, 2, and then of course I have 3, 4 here to hold that end of it. And then I very precariously got this walkway up here. I had made it from all the scrap wood, and I think I have some shots. I'll try and include them here in the video. But so I made this deck of scrap wood, and I used my my long bars clamps to squeeze everything together, all the cracked wood and stuff, and then drill it in. Or actually I hammered it in place, and then I flipped the whole thing over, like with I had other old wood, cross bracing all the way along, because it's 4 meters, and then hammered through that, and then flipped it over, and then I bolted through that, because I really wanted to secure all the cracks and make it a good piece of wood for the plank, basically, for this walkway. And what I negated to I kind of thought about it as I started to go, but I thought, no, it's gonna be all right, which meant that building it was easy, although it was it took a while. But yeah, it turns out that it's super heavy, and so it's like, oh shit, how am I gonna get it up here? And it wasn't easy. I was able to actually, this piece of beam right here was, I think it was 5 meters long or something like that. I bought that over there at the same time I bought that beam, or that big post. And so what I did was I just slipped that beam, or this little, it's actually 2x3. So I slipped that all the way underneath the plank, and lifted it up like that to get over here onto the square. Because if I lifted it up just the end of the plank this way, it was so long that it was trying to bow in the middle, and we didn't want it, because it's all different. There's 6 pieces of wood put it together. So other than the 7 on the bottom. But yeah, I was able to get it up here, and had a really funky angle. And then I was just dreading putting it all the way up here, but as luck would have it, my neighbor stopped by. Yeah. And he helped me. I planned on just doing it, and we actually did it the same way I would have done it by myself, which was to swing it over here, and then go step by step by step by step, and then get to the top and chuck it over there, because I had it tilted over here, and then it just, it would get stopped by the top of that post. So I was able to get that done. And there it is, man. Check it out. Boom. So I got this lower platform, and you'll just come up the stairs. Of course, all this other stuff gets filled in, but for now, you come up here, then you can walk right here and go straight into the A-frame. I did some more welding on the back there, although I noticed that, when I welded this bar, I measured them, but it's off, so somewhere it's off. So that bar in the back going across in the middle actually goes down a little bit. But you know what? It ain't gonna matter, because that's all, you know, it's all stable and it's gonna be all, you know, closed up anyway, right? But yeah, so that was quite the project, quite the addition. This whole box and the platform, it's actually pretty strong too. So I put extra scrap through here, and I left it sticking out because I'm gonna drill holes in here and then hang stuff from there, right? You know, hang plants or whatever. That's what I thought of anyway. But yeah, so that's a pretty big update on my wood bamboo project here. Still don't know what I'm calling this thing, man. I'm gonna probably put, you know, more of this. I still have some, so I'll probably use that up here on the inside. But yeah, well, that's all I've been pretty much working on, is this each morning. And I think I actually made, I don't know how many videos. Tried to make videos doing this, and nah, this wasn't working out. Water's nice and clean over there. It's weird. The other day it didn't look that clean. It looked like it had some bacteria growing, you know, some algae, but boom, it's all gone. Maybe it disappeared during the rain or something. And the pond, oh my gosh, I'll tell you right now, we put these, or my sister put these baskets in here, right? And I don't know if you can see, you can probably see, put these baskets in there, and the snails love the baskets. They just like immediately whoosh, seem to be going to it. And snails are a hot commodity right now. We've eaten it. I didn't get to eat it because the girls ate it all, but you know, just pull them all out, basically wash it really good, and then blanch them, and then stick them in there and pull them out, and you know, mix them up with some hot pepper and stuff, and lovely. And but anyway, yeah, my sister-in-law was in the pond collecting them, actually first from underneath the leaves, right underneath the lily pad leaves. Just pull them out from underneath there, and she had a shit ton of them in the boat. I know I have a picture of that one. And then but you know, scoops them all up, and people buy them for, I think, 300 or 500 baht for 10 kilos or something like that. So yeah, man, I mean, these baskets were just chucked in here yesterday afternoon, and looking at them, each one of them already has probably 50 or 100 snails on it. Of course, we want the bigger ones. There are some big ones. The smaller ones are getting right on there. They can grow right there and stay there and get bigger. But yeah, man. But too bad though, because we're going to be taking all the water out, right? Take all the water out, and you know, dispatch all the fish, give it away, sell it, eat it. So that'd be cool too. But yeah, man, that was I never saw that before. That was interesting. I mean, we checked those same snails out of the canals, and some of them off of the other pond, you know, for a little meal or whatever, little snacks. But this is basically harvesting them. So that's a whole different ball game for some extra cash. Whew, I can feel it baking. I can't believe this thing says like beyond 120. What in the blazes? That's one of them thermometers from the DIY store. All right, man. Well, I also washed this whole area when I took all that furniture off. I water blasted that whole place in there. Worked out pretty good. Just, you know, chores here with my life on the Thai farm. But anyway, hope you found that interesting. I'll try and get to work again tomorrow on my pallets over there. Hopefully I can get the walls up on the outside anyway. I don't know about the inside yet. But anyway, thanks for watching. And keep watching. And I'll get back at you with more wooden bamboo stuff.